All you had to do was work these last few years. You could be a millionaire. You could save your mother from being coarsened in the labor market. You could prolong the life of your loved ones with medical care. You could literally keep your parents alive longer, and you still didn't try. You still couldn't be motivated. Extra years of consciousness for the people who birthed you is somehow not as important to scumbag losers like you. And you wonder why I end up in a position where I think, do poor people even ever deserve to win? I have been telling you, I have been repeating for the last 3 years how important it is that you make some money, get spare finance, stop trying to trade and be a smart ass. Instead, dedicate yourself, learn how to make money online, dedicate yourself, get spare money, and buy Bitcoin. I have been saying it every single day for 3 years. And I've been saying it because the outcome was always certain in my mind. I was telling you this when Bitcoin was 4,000. I was telling you this when Bitcoin was 8,000. I was telling you this when Bitcoin was 16,000, all the way up to 60, 70, 80,000. I have been repeatedly saying the exact same thing because the outcome was certain. And even though none of you disagreed with me, you didn't argue with me, you knew that my thesis, you knew that my opinion on the future was correct, you still didn't bother to work and get money. You knew your money would amplify. Do you understand the cowardice and laziness which plagues your blood? If you understand that the money you make today, you can double it in a few short months, and you still don't try, there must be something clinically wrong with you people. So then I used to motivate you guys. I was like, well, let me motivate them instead. But no matter how hard I scream down the side of the mountain, climb, do this, put your foot there, don't do that, you'll slip and fall, climb, it's great up here, you can make it. You just don't seem to want to try. If there is a guaranteed chance to double all of the extra money you make, and you still don't try, what more can I say within the confines of human language that will motivate you? Perhaps God himself simply has a plan for certain people, and the plan for you was eternal regret and never-ending serfdom. Perhaps the plan for people like you was simply for you to perma-fail and lay as testament to how a life can be built on ignorance, laziness, and arrogance, so that people look at you as a warning sign of what not to be. Perhaps that's why you exist. Men like you exist as a warning sign to all other men. Do not end up like that, because I have been telling you for years. And now that Bitcoin's at $100,000, do you know what message I keep getting sent? Andrew, how do I make some money? I need Bitcoin. Andrew, can you motivate me? Why weren't you motivated when Bitcoin was 8,000? Why weren't you motivated when you stood a chance? Why weren't you motivated when I spoke before? Why must reality slap you in the face so brutally for you to wake up? You're the kind of kid who drives his car on the ice and slides all over the place and won't slow down. It's only when you hit a tree and lose a leg do you sit there like a pirate, a dumb pirate with a wooden leg. You sit there and go, I might slow down next time. You only learn lessons the hardest possible way. And here I am, respected as one of the greatest orators in the English language, trying my best to convince you to win. I'm not trying to convince you to lose. I'm trying to convince you to do something you should already want to do, which is win. And I can't seem to get you to take action and move and work. This outcome was certain. You knew it. I knew it. And you still just laid in bed at night after an average day of meager efforts and slept like a baby. You went to bed broke and slept like a baby. If I knew I was gonna wake up broke, I wouldn't go to sleep. I don't want to wake up broke, ever. So if I feel like closing my eyes and having a little bit of rest is going to lead to me waking up broke, I ain't closing my eyes. Money must be made. And this Bitcoin opportunity is actually one of a long string of opportunities that you have squandered in your insignificant, unremarkable, meager existence. Nobody knows who the you are. Nobody knows your name. Women aren't begging for your children. You're a nobody. And you're a nobody because every single time God gives you a chance, you ignore it. Even worse, when you are given guaranteed wins, like earn money, buy Bitcoin, you do nothing. When winners like me, we attack with absolute vigor when the win isn't even guaranteed. I've tried harder for most things in my life with a fraction of a percent of a chance for success than you've ever tried for anything with a guaranteed payoff. I used to go to work not knowing if I get paid. You are guaranteed to get paid. We are telling you it is guaranteed that there is a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, but you can't seem to finish the walk. You are a fuck up if you have less than 100 Bitcoin. You are an idiot because you've had 3 years of me telling you what to do. 3 years of me guaranteeing you the future. And it's only just begun because Bitcoin's going to go to 1 million. And then what will you message me? Andrew, I need some money. I need some Bitcoin. Andrew, can you motivate me? And here's the impasse. Here's the wall I can't seem to break. And I can't seem to motivate you to win. What am I even talking for? Why am I even here? What's the point of any of this? You should look in the mirror and feel a deep sense of shame. You should think of all those days you have wasted, all those late mornings you laid in, all of the mistakes you've made across the last 2 years. Because if you made none of those mistakes and you tried instead and added it all together, you would have bought Bitcoin, and now that's $100,000, you would be rich forever. You could be rich for the rest of your life if you had just tried for the last 2 years. The time's already gone. The time's been spent. You can't even tell me what you did with it. You didn't work. You didn't get rich. Cool. What did you do the last 2 years? I went on holiday. Okay, that's 5 days out of 600. What did you do for the rest of them? Well, I was trying. Clearly, no, you weren't. And you know what? The number one measure of a winner is self-reflection. When you're a winner, you analyze your performance in all things. If you're a grandmaster at chess, after you play a game, win or lose, you go through the game to identify mistakes, to see what you did right, to see what you did wrong. You talk to other grandmasters, you get their take on the position. If you're a fighter, you watch your fights back. And here you are living your life, you're not even reflecting. Stop for a second and think about what I just said to you. All of the time you have wasted. Now you feel FOMO. If you would have just acted when I was imploring you to act, if you would have just done what you knew needed to be done, you would be sitting in a completely different situation right now. Your bloodline would be financially free for eternity. Your great-grandchildren, who you may never meet, would know your name because you're the one who saved the family. Instead, you will die insignificant and be forgotten by your own blood because you are another pointless cog, which is your legacy, which is your bloodline. Your dynasty leads to nowhere, and you come to me to motivate you. How the can I motivate limp losers like that?